Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently holding for further traffic clearance.
Check out Kristen's new website, magicaljourneysvacations.com, for all your vacation needs. Disney, Universal, cruise lines, and more.
Thank you for traveling with us.
magicaljourneysvacations.com. Have her book your magical vacation today.
WDW After Dark. Now loading.
WDW After Dark. WDW After Dark. Live and uncensored. Starring Jeff Davis, Aljon, Kristen, and Eric Allen. WDW After Dark is live and uncensored. Call the hotline at 410-98-WDW-AD. Follow us on Facebook at WDW After Dark Webcast and Twitter at WDW After Dark. Headline news: Disney food, video games, Marvel, and Star Wars. WDW After Dark. Live and uncensored. And now prepare yourself for WDW After Dark.
WDW After Dark, your weekly show with Disney news. We're talking about the parks, Star Wars, Marvel, D23. What is going on? I am lifelong Disney fan, Aljon Go, joined by our talking heads, if you will, Jeff Disney Davis, the news monster. What's up, Jeff?
What's going on, Aljon? How you doing?
I'm good. Jeff, you survived the storm. Every time I hear a storm is coming through, I think about the Doors, Riders on a Storm.
All right. It would have been good to go along with this one because there was a lot of rain. So, we made it fine. Yeah, we're good.
You didn't float away. You didn't do any of that. You hunkered down, if you will.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you are. You've got a lot of Disney park news coming up. Also, Kristen, our Disney travel guru from diningatdisney.com and WDW Tiki Room on Sorcerer Radio. Kristen, hello.
Hello.
You have got some Disney travel/dining news.
That would be correct.
Yeah, everybody's going to be hankering for that news for sure. I've got the latest as it pertains to the Disney Star Wars Han Solo film, if you will. So we're going to get into all that drama in just a little bit. Quick reminder for you to check out www.afterdark.com. You can subscribe and like our show on Facebook, on YouTube, TuneIn app. But we'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube show and give us those thumbs up and leave comments below. You can also do us a solid by subscribing to our show on Stitcher Radio and iTunes and leaving us those 5-star reviews, because every little bit helps the algorithm. And when you do that, we go up in the ratings. So please do it. If you have not ever done so, do it today. And if you did so years ago, we want you to do it again, because that's what it's all about, showing us the love, because we provide this show for you for free every single week. And we talked a lot about Star Wars. We talked a lot about the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout attraction. You know, Jeff just recently came back from Pandora, and so did we. So we'd love for you to help pay our way through. This is not a GoFundMe campaign. This is simply, hey, we love the show, so we're going to support you guys. Another thing you can do is book your trip with Kristen of Magical Journeys Vacations, and she can give you some great deals. She's going to talk about them here momentarily, but click that banner at www.afterdark.com. Another thing you can do is shop using Amazon. You know, we have got a lot of different merchandise coming out for the new movies like Spider-Man Homecoming. You've got the latest Star Wars film coming out. Episode 8 looks amazing. The toys are going to be released soon. So you want to make sure you get all those collectibles that you need using our Amazon link. Every time you click that banner, Amazon gets us a little bit of a kickback, a little tip in the tip jar, if you will. And it helps us out. So once again, your one-stop shop for all things awesome is www.afterdark.com for links to book your Disney vacation with magicaljourneysvacations.com and Amazon. And on with the show. We've got your headlines. WDW After Dark presents Disney
Headline.
Time now for Disney headline news with our newsman in the newsroom, Jeff Davis. Hello.
Hi, how are you guys doing? And it's good to talk to everybody again. Unfortunately, we start with a little bit of sad, well, not totally sad news, but a small accident happened over at Walt Disney World just a couple of days ago. A 5-year-old was airlifted to the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children on Monday after a child nearly drowned over at Disney's Art of Animation Resort at Walt Disney World. Now, the boy, they say, is all right and listed as in well condition. The pool was closed following the incident as it became a scene of investigation by police. Lifeguards at the resort were interviewed regarding the child's predicament following the airlift, and it's unclear exactly what happened. It's just simply being called a water emergency. But the good part about it is the child's doing okay and will hopefully make a full recovery and not have any problems. But at the same time, it's just a reminder for parents out there, just watch your kids very closely, even though there are lifeguards on duty at Walt Disney World resort pools. You do need to watch them. They can't watch everybody at every single second, so keep an eye on them so nothing bad happens to them. Some unfortunate news. Cast members over at the American Gardens Theater did confirm that there is no Sounds Like Summer concert series scheduled at Epcot this year. Instead, American Music Machine has evening performances scheduled during summer weekends at the American Gardens Theater. Not everybody, checks out the summer concert series, unfortunately. Some do. Some were upset, and some were like, okay, well, whatever. We still got something good going on there. So that's just a quick bit of information to pass on to everybody. If you're going to be visiting Walt Disney World during the July 4th holiday, there's some one thing we need to remind you about. Seven Seas Drive will be a one-way road heading westbound on Monday, July the 3rd, and Tuesday, July the 4th, from 5 to 9 p.m. Disney security will be on site at the Seven Seas Drive crosswalk to help alleviate any confusion for guests. Traffic heading to Disney's Polynesian Village Resort will be in the right-hand lane, and the left-hand lane will be available for guests heading north and southbound on Floridian Way. Now, we can only guess that this is because when 4th of July comes around at the Walt Disney World Resort, the Magic Kingdom is going to be at park capacity. People want to see those fireworks on July the 3rd and July the 4th. They're big, they're massive, they're really great. People will be surrounding the Seven Seas Lagoon. They'll be at the resorts. They'll be all over the place. So just remember, give yourself some extra time to get to and from wherever you might need to be when it comes to visiting Walt Disney World during the 4th of July. Another story, John Platt, who is a father from the United Kingdom. He took his 6-year-old daughter to Walt Disney World for a vacation back in 2015. Now, this vacation, it turned into a massive legal battle because the father-daughter vacation all happened when school was in session and caused a little bit of a problem. So by taking his daughter out of school, Platt was fined $153, which he refused to pay from the school. And then after a 2-year-long legal battle, which went back and forth between Platt and the Department for Education, Platt finally lost in a Supreme Court case. In the end, Platt was charged with failing to secure his daughter's regular attendance at school in a hearing there in the United Kingdom. But then you add on the extra legal fees and a few other things. At the end of the case, though, Platt was fined $2,559 by the government. But then you put all the legal fees and all this other stuff that's involved with it. Ends up that this case ended up costing over $255,000 in total on the case. I mean, that's a lot to have to deal with when all you did was go to a vacation to Walt Disney World. It's absolutely crazy. So he said that he's done fighting. He's not going to fight it anymore. He said, quote, "This is the end for me now. This has gone on for far too long and far too much money has been spent by me and the taxpayers as well." So parents, next time you decide to pull your kids out to take a trip to Walt Disney World, keep that in mind. I can't imagine a school ever doing something like that here in the U.S. because 9 times out of 10, what the teacher will do is they'll give you work for the child to do. Okay, well, they need to do this X, Y, and Z by the time they get back, so they don't miss too much. But
That's wild.
United Kingdom,
I wonder if schools
They're
still
different.
have it set that if you miss X number of days, then you have to repeat that grade.
I have heard that. I heard that some schools do have that policy in effect. Excuse me. My sister is a fourth grade teacher, and that school I know for years now has had that exact policy right there. So there are probably still a few around, but they take it more seriously over in the United Kingdom, apparently, and you end up getting charged a lot of money just for going to Walt Disney World. So, oh wow. All right, so those who are interested in some new merchandise, the new Happily Ever After fireworks show that made its debut last month, there at the Magic Kingdom, is, of course, spectacular in more ways than one. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. So ICFlorida.com reports that some residents who live close to the park are voicing their concern that small pieces of cardboard and ashes are covering their yards and vehicles every single morning. Residents say they've been experiencing more debris from fireworks now than they have ever before, ever since the current show started. One resident even stated that he pays someone to clean up his yard and vehicle every single day. And there's some other residents who say they don't take the issue with the fireworks debris as seriously as this guy, but the fact that it's happening does kind of upset them. In light of all that, merchandise, we love merchandise. New inspired merchandise is going to be coming to the Magic Kingdom over at the Emporium. All kinds of different stuff, shirts, photo frames, and a whole bunch of other things. Disney Parks blog released something about it the other day, and merchandise looks fantastic. So people are having issues with debris from the fireworks, but at the same time, we've got great merchandise coming out of Walt Disney World. So one good thing, one bad thing came out of all of that. But Disney didn't exactly make a statement when it came to what happens and what the residents were upset about. So things happen. I don't know what else to say about that other than you pick the location where you're at, and I guess you're just going to have to deal with it. The prevailing winds from fireworks determines where that stuff goes. And so if the winds shift, maybe you won't have a problem anymore. Maybe you will. I don't know. Don't live there, so I can't I can't speak for those people, but it's unfortunate they're having an issue. But
Yeah.
All right, so permits have recently been filed by Disney to the South Florida Water Management District to indicate that changes could be coming to Epcot at Walt Disney World. According to the Orlando Sentinel, the permit looks to allow Disney to build and operate a new stormwater management system on the northeast side of the theme park. Now, this permit is set to expire in June 2022. A staff report stated that the proposal will allow Disney to make a more contiguous area for possible future changes to parking capacity and the back of house areas by modifying a current canal. Additionally, the permit said that Disney wants to construct 2 dry retention areas in a location where future construction is planned. Now, at the same time, we're thinking that some of this may be entwined with the possible updates that Epcot could be getting in the near future, because if you remember, Disney Parks Chairman Bob Chapek stated at a D23 event back in November of 2016 that Epcot would soon have major transformation in order to make the theme park more Disney, timeless, relevant, and friendly, family-friendly as well. So that could have a lot of different things when it comes to that permit. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. As far as I know, it's just putting water in a different spot to open up areas for other spots. That's the only way I can look at it. We got that going on. If you're lucky enough to be headed to Pandora, the world of Avatar, over at Disney's Animal Kingdom in the next few days, and I'm going to say few days, you might be in luck or a Banshee to throw on your shoulder. Now, these Banshees that you can pick up over at, what's the name of the store over there? Do you guys remember? Help me out here. I'm having trouble remembering. Oh, I can't remember. Aljon, I can't hear you.
Aljon, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry, I'm like, I muted my mic and then I muted my mic again. How about that?
Yeah, right. What's the name?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Oh yeah. I have no idea.
Wind Traders. Wind Traders. Wind Traders.
Wind
It just
Traders,
came.
yes. Wind Traders.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wind Traders.
So
So
forget.
back when Pandora: The World of Avatar opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom, the majority of the long lines that you were dealing with when it came to going to Wind Traders was people wanting to buy Banshees. And within the first, I think, 5 days that the area was open, they sold out completely. And they've been sold out for like the last 3 weeks. And just recently, a few days ago, some people saw some cast members unboxing these Banshees and putting them on the limbs there in the Nook. And went crazy. People started standing in line. The thing is, it's a limited supply. So if it's even still there, I would be surprised, especially when you're getting close to 4th of July and everything. Maybe they did beef it up for 4th of July. I'm not sure. But you have an opportunity to get one if you get over there right now. So you need to go ahead and do that. Very popular with the kids, even more surprising, very popular with adults as well. I saw many, many, many adults walking around with a Banshee on their shoulder throughout the Animal Kingdom and all the other parks as well. So people love these things, and they're going like hotcakes. So make sure you get over there, grab one, because the popularity is absolutely insane. So make sure you check that out. And let's see, don't need to talk about that. And that's all the headlines this week.
I feel like thank you, Jeff. I feel like we should do a show coming up about all the rumored updates to Epcot that's coming up, because the news is coming fast, and I would assume that we're going to hear some really big news probably at the D23 Expo, but that's for another show altogether. But
the latest and greatest I heard when it comes to Epcot and you talking about that was a possible Ratatouille attraction over in France. There's a rumor going around about that.
Yep, it's going to be a big
surprise
character.
me. Yeah, it would surprise me if these rumors, start getting some legs and actually maybe some truth to a few of them. But once D23 comes around, we'll see the light of day a little bit more. So that's exciting to know about.
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Thank you, Jeff, for those headlines. That's awesome. Once again, you can hear Jeff on DW60 Thursdays on srsounds.com, Sorcerer Radio, at 8 a.m. Eastern. Kristen is here. She's got the latest travel deals and food news, etc. So, Kristen, what's on your plate today?
Well, I'm going to remind people of some of the travel deals that are currently going on. Right now, there is the 25% off select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. That is good now for booking now through August 31st. And the travel time is August 1st through October 7th. And then also, if you want to go out west and hit Disneyland, they have a deal where if you buy a 3-night, 3-day ticket package, you get a 4th night free at participating Good Neighbor hotels. And that can be booked through November 14th, and it's valid for travel August 13th through November 16th, my birthday. So those are
Yay.
two deals to know about. And was it earlier this week or was it last week? Disney released the 2018 packages. So you can, for Walt Disney World. So you can now book Walt Disney World all the way through December 31st, 2018. Now, along with that always comes the Disney dining plan. And there are changes to the 2018 Disney dining plan. So last year, for this year, they changed the snacks to where you get 2 snack credits. Well, this year, the change is going to be that now for each guest who is 21 and over, you may choose an alcoholic beverage. So it's going to be a single serving of a mixed cocktail, a beer, or wine. And this is for both quick service and table service that you can choose that. If you are not 21 or you do not drink, you can choose one of the non-alcoholic beverages that include specialty beverages. So things like the milkshakes and the smoothies and hot chocolate and fancy coffee drinks, those you'll be able to choose in its place. So I'm kind of excited about this. And the price increase was very minimal. It was only a couple bucks. So
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, I know that we're going to be partaking in the alcohol for sure. That's good. I'm down with that. It's like I was waiting for Disney to put out some type of deal where it would be very similar to a cruise, where it would include the alcohol at some point.
well, they used to do the wine and dine package, and then they got rid of that a few years ago. So it's nice to see that they're adding this into it. I know some people have stated they think there's going to be more drunk people, but you know what? It's one drink. It's one drink with a meal. So it's not like you're going to get drunk at lunch having one drink with your entree and dessert,
Lightweight. I could say that.
It's not like they're
Yep.
offering a unlimited beverage package.
Well, I would love an unlimited beverage package. I'm just
That
saying.
would be really that'd be
That's what I'm
something,
saying.
especially
I
at Epcot.
That's right.
I'd
want
do an
that.
unlimited beverage package.
I'll take that, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, they
I'll
do it
take
on
it.
cruises, so
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
I'll take unlimited
not?
beverage package today and twice on Sundays. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. Good point.
I mean, yeah, I don't think you're going to see people having any more most of the people that you find at Disney who are drunk are those who came with the intention of getting drunk. They're not having a planned family planned family vacation. They're not the people who buy the Disney dining plan. They're the people who come with their college buddies or
Their bridal showers. Or their
yeah,
bridal
that
showers,
kind
yeah.
of stuff, and decide, or the locals who want a place to party on the weekend.
Yeah.
And that's why you find so much of it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because you've got the locals who are there that during the week they're at work, during food and wine. So you find more of that, the drunk people during those times. So I don't see this being a problem at all. I would be curious what other people think. So you can
They can leave
definitely
there.
send us an email or tell us on Twitter or Facebook or wherever else what you think of the addition of alcohol, and will you be taking part in it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, leave your comments below and email us at wdwafterdark@gmail.com. Very cool. All right, Kristen. Anything else from your end of things? You good?
Nope, that's all I've got.
All right. Big headlines coming up in the world of Star Wars. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about Marvel. Because actually, let's talk about Cars. Cars 3 is in theaters, and wow, what a great run this movie has had. Just flash the numbers there. What is it? 1 million or 100 million and one, dollars at the box office. So that's pretty darn good. Opening weekend, it ranked number 1, and that was good. So Wonder Woman came up, it was number 1. Then Cars 3 came out, and it had great reviews. So I congratulate Disney Pixar for yet another hit movie, and we're looking forward to seeing Cars 3 roll into downloads here in the next few months. So that should be pretty cool right before the holiday season. Looking forward to that. Now let's talk about Marvel. So, Marvel Studios is on a roll. You just had the release of oh gosh, and I'm having a brain fart, but you had the release of Guardians of the Galaxy, did great. We're on the precipice of the release of Spider-Man Homecoming in partnership with Sony Pictures. But there is one superhero that pretty much kicked off the modern day Marvel movie experience. Does anyone know what character that was? Take a guess.
Not a clue.
Way back in the day. Any idea?
I really don't know. No.
Has anyone seen Blade? Remember Blade,
I've seen
Wesley
Blade.
Snipes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't remember, but Blade actually kicked off the whole licensing for Marvel films back in the day. And Wesley Snipes did a great job playing Blade in the first film. And believe it or not, Kevin Feige has been making the rounds for Spider-Man Homecoming. And the site Joe Blow asked about Blade 4 because apparently that has been in development for a little bit. And Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, had said, quote, "We think it would be really cool someday. My tenure at Marvel had started 17 years ago, and there were two things that sort of launched the modern era. One was the X-Men, which was the first thing that people said, oh, there's life here. But after a few years before that, there was Blade, a character nobody heard of at all, that only appeared in a handful of issues of Tomb of Dracula, and it turned into a big franchise. And that was always a great lesson for me. Where you go, it doesn't matter how well you know the character is. It matters how cool the movie is," which many years later would be the reason we do things like Guardian of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange. I believe Blade is a legacy character now, and I think it would be fun to do something with him one day. And I would agree. We've heard whispers of plans for Blade within the MCU. Last year, Wesley Snipes, who played the character along with in the original trilogy of movies, has been on board with reviving the character and said the ball is in Marvel's court. There were rumors that Netflix was possibly looking to do a Blade TV series, but that doesn't seem to be in the cards now. Also, Marvel Studios is currently in the R-rated adaptation game, and that is what Blade would need to be. But Kevin Feige hasn't totally ruled it out in the future. So Blade came out originally with Snipes in 1998, bringing in $131 million worldwide box office. So those aren't huge numbers, but in total, the three movies made $415 million. And that was in the very beginning. You know, nobody really looked at Blade and said, oh, that's a superhero movie. It's a Marvel movie. But I totally remember that. So we'll see what happens with Blade in the future. And speaking of, yeah, Jeff?
I'm trying to think in my head because I've watched the Blade movies, all three, numerous times because I actually love the Blade movies. And I'm trying to figure out how, after the ending of 3, that they would actually be able to do number 4 with the way that ended. So, just kind of curiosity, you know. So,
well, I think they call it Blade 4, but I think we all know that it would have to be a reboot.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, definitely.
It would have to be a reboot. But I don't think Wesley Snipes would be the character for that because of all the history with the prior movie. It's like saying, hey, let's bring back Ben Affleck as Daredevil. Let's not do that. Can we?
Oh, goodness.
He's got his hands full right now with DC. Let's not do that. But talking about more Marvel TV, we're going to go ahead and show this right now. This is breaking news. We had just gotten a picture of a brand new poster for Marvel's Inhumans. And this is a TV show. I don't know if everyone can see that, but check that out. Marvel's Inhumans right there. Black Bolt, Medusa, and Maximus take center stage. We'll take a look at the poster here. Medusa, of course, the red hair for Marvel's Inhumans. And the first chapter will be released in theaters and IMAX September 1st with a complete series starting September 29th on ABC. So I don't know if anyone here follows Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know we all do here on the show, but I think this is going to prove to be a really great series. The Inhuman royal family will be coming to Earth. The poster for Marvel's Inhumans, you just saw that. Black Bolt, which is played by Anson Mount. Medusa by Serinda Swan. And Maximus, played by Iwan Riordan. Oh, try to say that 27 times fast. Step into the spotlight, and you can catch them once again on ABC and in IMAX in September. So you can follow the Inhumans on Twitter and like them on Facebook. The other news would be the Defenders. Now, Jeff, I know you've seen some of the Marvel Netflix shows. Kristen, I know you've seen Jessica Jones, but they just released a brand new poster for the Defenders. So we'll show everybody here what it looks like. And here are Defenders right here. You have Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. And here we go. Our heroes unite with a new look at Marvel's The Defenders, which is going to be debuting August 18th. Can you believe that? We're just a few days away, and I'm looking forward to that. A lot of great Marvel stuff coming out. Of course, Daredevil's played by Charlie Cox, Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter, Luke Cage by Mike Coulter, and Iron Fist Finn Jones will be there. And that looks great. The original series, once again, kicking off on Netflix August 18th. I'm looking forward to this. Jeff, you ended up seeing some of the Netflix series. Are you looking forward to seeing all the Defenders in one place?
I think I am, simply because perhaps we're done with the whole backstory thing. Of course, a series does have to start somewhere. You do have to get to know the character and the people that they're around, maybe how they got their powers or whatever else. But I'm hoping that the Defenders is going to move away from all that, and we'll get into some serious, real good superhero Marvel type of action there in Hell's Kitchen and throughout New York. So that I think it's going to be a good series. I'm hopeful, but I'll save it for whenever it comes around. So we'll have to wait and see.
Right on. I know Kristen's looking forward to seeing more of what Jessica Jones can do to kick some ass. So, because she's a Jessica Jones fan, and I am too, by the way. So it's all good. Now, here's what everybody's been talking about: what's going on with the Han Solo film. And if you haven't heard, let's go ahead and talk about it. So earlier in the week, you heard that we had a little shakeup with the surprise firing of directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller from the upcoming Han Solo Star Wars anthology film. And there are more stories. The Hollywood Reporter learned that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and the directing duo did not hit it off from the very start of production. Both sides struggled with control, and there was a constant battle over how the scenes would be shot and how much Lord and Miller could stay stray from the script as written by Star Wars veteran Lawrence Kasdan, who's known to pen The Empire Strikes Back and The Force Awakens. For one instance, a trade was told by sources that Lord and Miller only did 3 different setups for camera placements for a scene shot in the Millennium Falcon versus the 12 to 15 that a movie of this size usually does, and this led to limited options to choose from in editing. And the duo's improvisational style didn't go over very well for some of the crew, known for their comedies, the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, in which Lord Miller collaborated heavily with their cast on a movie of this size on the Star Wars project. It led to hundreds of crew members standing around waiting for marching orders, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Lord and Miller also shot scenes by delivering improvised lines to the actors, according to sources. Once Kasdan saw this, he demanded that every line be said word for word, and The Hollywood Reporter said that Lord and Miller did not do takes for scenes that was written with the script. Man, can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Wow.
I mean, you hire these two guys, known for doing the Lego Movie, known for doing 21 Jump Street, and they are now working on bringing some of that humor to the Star Wars franchise. And then they don't do enough takes to do enough edits. They don't have enough cameras set up. Leave millions of dollars just blowing in the wind because people are staying around waiting to do nothing. And get this, it gets worse. All right. One source told Star Wars News Network that Enrich's performance of Han Solo was oddly comparable to Jim Carrey's performance in Ace Ventura at times.
Oh, jeez.
Which rumor has it, Lucasfilm hired an acting coach for Alden Ehrenreich, who plays Han Solo. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So with all the pushback that's going on, they're doing reshoots. And of course, it forced Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm's hand, to let those two directors go. And they ended up getting veteran producer and director Ron Howard to take over the film. And everyone broke out into applause. Now, I want everyone to know that, Ron Howard, of course, I'm a huge fan of Ron Howard. A lot of us grew up with Ron Howard, on Happy Days and in films like Backdraft that he has won numerous awards for. But the thing about Ron Howard is that George Lucas actually wanted Ron Howard to direct some of the prequels. And he turned it down because he didn't want the responsibility of doing a saga film, and he wanted to enjoy it. And that's been on record for many years. So it's kind of interesting now that with all this going on, that he was asked to finish up this Han Solo, what a lot of people are viewing as a debacle. What do you all think of that? I mean, do you think that this movie can be salvaged with all it? And by the way, they were let go, and they'd already filmed 75% of the film. So, guys, what do you think? Can Lucasfilm salvage this film?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money for Disney to throw at these guys. I mean, first of all, I'll tell you where I come from, and then you guys can discuss. But you hired the guys that did the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street. Did you guys see those movies?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. Jeff, did you like those movies?
The brand of humor that Channing Tatum brings to the screen in 21 Jump Street is rather interesting, and there are some very funny parts. It's not exactly what we remember as what 21 Jump Street was back when it was on TV. It's Lego, so what more can you say, really? Because that humor goes in a lot of different. If you have seen like the Lego Batman movie and a couple of the other things that they've done, it goes in a lot of different directions. And I don't think that brand of humor that you saw in Lego Movie or 21 Jump Street has any place whatsoever in a Star Wars type film. Of course, this is a standalone. It's the story of Han Solo, who we know to throw out a joke every now and then, does have a very serious side, does have a soft side, and it kind of jokes around a little bit. But I don't think that brand of humor is right for a Star Wars type film. So for Ron Howard to come in, who has, like you said, Backdraft, but also done some fantastic military movies and some great dramas as well, for him to take on something like that worries me, not because of the type of director that he is, but I don't think the direction that they were taking is his style. I think he may struggle with it a little bit. I would prefer them just to go back to square one, redo the script, and do it right. Because
the script was done
they put
right,
this thing
apparently.
out.
It just was not executed properly. Because
Well,
Lawrence
then
Kasdan is the guy
everything.
Lawrence Kasdan is the guy that ended up doing, the screenplay and the writing.
I think they should redo the whole thing all over again. Start from scratch. If the script is good and they loved it, go with that. But I think it's doomed. At this point.
They sound.
If
you know what?
Like you said, 75%, it's doomed.
This reminds me of what happened to Ant-Man for Marvel, because once again, Marvel was getting ready to do Ant-Man. They fired, their guy, and then they ended up replacing it. And I thought Ant-Man ended up being a great film as a result. And let's not forget what happened to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. They get rid of some of the writing and director staff, and then they bring in some other folks to doctor up the script. And the movie ended up being really, really good. So, who knows? But one thing that's for sure with Ron Howard, he did do some comedies, Parenthood, Splash, but he also did movies like Apollo 13, A Beautiful Mind. So he has a very wide array of films to his credit, from comedies to dramas. So I think this can be salvaged, but not without a bunch of reshoots as they're doing right now. Kristen, you like the character of Han Solo. Are you thinking that this movie might be doomed like Jeff does?
I don't know. I mean, I don't see why it couldn't be fixed.
Yeah. Well, you never know. In Kathleen Kennedy, we trust. That is my motto. I believe Kathleen has been a, if Rogue One was any sign that she could do great, with an original standalone movie. I believe that we can say the same about Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes out. We can say the same about Boba Fett, I'm sure, when it comes out, or Yoda, or the many other films, as well as this new Star Wars Episode 8 coming out in December. We will have to see. But I'm sure the actors had to clear their entire schedule to make up for those reshoots for sure. So I know that the people that listen to a bunch of those Star Wars podcasts that we're friends with, I think they're very hopeful that they'll be able to turn it around. So once again, if anyone can do it, Kathleen Kennedy can, and Ron Howard hopefully can get that going as well. We will be following those news stories as they come to us, and we'll keep you updated here at WDW After Dark. That is it for Disney Headline News, covering all types of stuff, Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars. Coming up, we're going to be talking about the D23 Expo. But until then, Jeff, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter over at DW_60 for the DW60 Twitter page.
There you go. Kristen.
At dining@disney.com. You can find me on all social media, and you can also on iTunes and Stitcher listen to the Dining at Disney podcast.
Very good. And you can find Kristen and myself on WDW Teak Room, on Sorcerer Radio as well, on Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern, and on demand at WDWTeakroom.com, on various platforms as well, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and you can find me on my blog at Jedi Mouseketeer. All my social media is there as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for WDW After Dark. Don't forget, it's better after dark, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.